Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm back. Just like I said I would be. There is another resource that I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, glasses off. Okay. There's another resource that I wanted to share with you guys. Now, for those of you who are new to Shakima, right? You just kind of jumping in to see what's going on. You don't know who I am, where I came from, or why I'm here. Just a little about me. I am a licensed minister in the state of South Carolina. I'm an ordained pastor in the state of North Carolina. My heart of hearts is towards women. The Lord gave me a women's ministry called First Love Ministries with Shakima Wilson. Underneath First Love Ministries with Shakima Wilson are a couple arms. You have Daughters of Grace, which were my very first ladies. Those ladies were with me for 10 years, and they were seasoned saints, what I call my seasoned saints. I was in my late 30s, and they were in their 60s and over. Some of them were in 50s, but the majority of those ladies were 55 plus when they started with me. We have since retired that group because 10, 12, 14 years later, they're in their late 70s, early 80s now. And so they don't do the social media part like I do. And the Lord also gifted me with another arm of that in 2020 called Titus 2 Women. And Titus 2 Women is a teaching ministry. It is a mentorship. It is a likewise, the older women shall teach the younger women how to be of sober mind, how to be good women, good wives, and good mothers. That's the only thing that the Lord has gifted me to do. Can I do other things? Absolutely, for sure. But I know in my heart of hearts that that is my ministry. It's my mission to teach women how to be good women, because before you can be anything else, you got to be good to yourself. You got to be good to yourself, and you have to be good for other people. And then you couple, right? So good women, and then you couple good wives, and then from that coupling comes the mother or the children. And so with that being said, every January I teach a study called the 40 Days of Love. Now, the 40 Days of Love is based off of a book by the Kendrick brothers called The Love Dare. I'm not talking about that book tonight, but I do teach that. It's 40 days. We start like the first Saturday in January, and we go right up until Valentine's Day or Love Day. And what I do is I take us through day by day, using their book, of course, day by day, to becoming a selfless wife, to becoming a selfless spouse. And sometimes there may be men doing the daring on the other side. I don't know, because it's not a closed group, it's an open group. But there are spouses becoming selfless so that we can esteem our spouses. And a lot of people would say, well, Shakima, you can't teach about marriage because you're single. Well, I was married. I was together and married with a gentleman for almost 18 years. And just because I'm not married now does not mean, first of all, that I don't love the institution. I love the institution of marriage. I think it is a wonderful institution to be a part of. It's God ordained and God created. And then I know what not to do, right? I was happily married. I didn't realize my husband was unhappily married. And some of that was my fault. Part of being married and in the aftermath of divorce is taking your part, right? I had to take ownership for what I did or didn't do in my marriage. And because I've had that issue, or because I've been divorced, I want other people not to have to experience that. Would you do a favor for me? Like the video, share, do all the things, hit the hearts, hit the arrow, do all the things, right? Just so people can know what's going on. So my heart is for people, women specifically, not to step in the same pitfalls that I stepped in. And with that being said, I'm always looking for a resource for marriage. I still desire marriage. I'm not married. I've been separated and divorced for 16 years, but I have become a better person in that time. I thought the Lord was going to give me a husband the year after I got divorced. 16 years later, I am still single, but I feel more ready now than I've ever felt to be married. And I'm trying to teach that to my sisters. So with that being said, I want to share a resource. Okay. This resource is again by Aaron and Jennifer Smith, and it's called Marriage After God. And why is it that we're pushing out these things? Here's the thing. There are too many narratives right now that, for one, say you don't need to be married. and marriage is bad, and all we have are social media marriages, and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But can I promise you, can I tell you that you can be married and it can be good and it can be right and it can last forever? Honestly, if that is what you, thank you so much. If that is what you purpose in your heart, is I want to be married how the Lord wants me to be married. And I don't think that is, what can I say? I don't think that's what we've thought it was before, right? I think that we can be in love all the time. So let me just give you a little story, right? Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate that. So I mean the flowers, the roses. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I was at a trip this past week, and I was with an individual, a couple different individuals, and the whole narrative was so negative towards marriage. I don't know how I feel about my husband. It was kind of like a roommate situation. I'm not getting married if I got to be a roommate. I may as well just stay here with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting married for multiple things. I think in one of her other books, she talks about, this is Jennifer and Aaron, because I have another book that they did. She talks about the selfish reasons that she wanted to get married. And one of those was for physical intimacy. I'm here for all that. I desire all of that. But there's so much more that the Lord wants me and my husband to do together that I'll never be able to do on my own. What if you don't get married, Shakima? Then I will have done the best I knew how to do on my own. But I believe that the Lord has called me to couple so that I will be able, and my husband will be able to do way more in the kingdom for his purposes and his glory than I ever could have done by myself. But I'm never, ever, ever going to be married if you're my roommate. Do I want to marry my best friend? Absolutely. But I'm not marrying a roommate. That's not what I don't desire that. We just coexist together. I don't believe that God created marriage to coexist. If you go back to Genesis, he said, and let us make man in our own image. And he formed man from the dust of the ground. And then in chapter 2, he said, it's not good for man to be alone. Everybody else got somebody that's like their kind. Let us make somebody that's a helper to him. So in my opinion, my mind's eye, how I understand it, the Lord has given this man something to do, and he then gives him a helper, a person that can come alongside of him to help him do it. Do you not know that if you have 2 ox, you can plow twice as much field as if you only had one? Because they're both yoked up and pulling in the same direction. I believe that the Lord is calling us for that purpose. Now, will everybody get married? Absolutely not. Some people have the gift of singleness. I promise you, it's not a gift that I have nor that I want. That's just not what God put in my heart. Well, why is it taking so long for you to get married? I heard something the other day that had me question my whole entire life. Honestly, I heard somebody talking on, it was on a short or something like that. And they're saying you haven't surrendered enough. That's why you're not married. And I thought, Lord Jesus, what else do I have to surrender? Because I have given it all. And I just don't think that teaching, what they were saying in that 30-second clip, I didn't see the whole thing, but that 30-second clip, that right there's that has people messed up. What do you mean I've got to surrender more? What else is there? What else is there? I'm not physically intimate. I'm not dating. I'm purity. I haven't given my body away. I have done none of those types of things. And you're saying I got to surrender more? I'm not fully submitted to the Lord? How? So I take my moments and I try to find things that are going to help me so that when my husband does come, we're ready to move along. Like, I don't plan 3 and 4 and 10 years of togetherness, not unmarried. 12 to 18 months really is good. I'm gonna be 50 on my birthday. What do we need to do? Let's get it together. And I'm not rushing anything. I'm just saying I'm prepping now so that when he comes, we can just do what God has called us to do. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay, moving on. Now, she says, chasing boldly after God's purpose for your life together. Have you ever looked at people and wondered, why are y'all together? What is it that y'all are doing that's common? Well, we don't have anything in common. Why are we together? I hear men say a lot. Now, listen, I don't, this is not every man, but I've heard this, especially since social media is so wide and broad, and we can see everybody has a platform. Women just won't submit. Well, we will submit. We just not submitted to everybody because everybody is not the person that God called us to submit to. So if the right person comes, then 100% there is submission. What did God give you to do that you want me to help you with, or you need me to help you with? Because this is how I've had to fix my mindset being single so long, because it goes back from nobody wants you, Shakima, to the man who needs what you offer just hasn't found you yet. Does that make sense? That's a very different narrative. He doesn't want, nobody wants me. That's not true. Lots of people want me. I'm just not into what they want. No, you ain't. The person who needs me, if God created a helper for Adam, then the man that I need to help just has not found me. I'm gifted and skilled in so many areas, but maybe the gifts and skills that I have not been for this person or that person. And that's perfectly okay. I've had to even condition myself that it doesn't matter how many people I've met over the 16 years. None of them were him. So it's okay. I'm like, well, maybe it is something wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with me. I just, the right person for what they're doing in the earth have not found me to be helpful. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay, we're going to move on. But if you are wanting a marriage, and so I sit around people who all they do is dog out marriage. And I want to say to them, I actually want to take their little faces in my hand and shake them and say, do you know how many women would take your husband if he wasn't with you? Do you know how many of us desire marriage? Now, we don't want your man. Do you know how many of us desire marriage and you are dogging out this man that God gave you? Or maybe you got him. I don't know how it worked out. But we want someone in our lives to love on and be loved by, to snuggle up at night and to go on vacation and to just be, to have someone praying over us or praying for us. We desire that. You have it and you don't even want it or know what to do with it. And we're like, oh my God. And so I said to the individual who I was, around, I said, I'm going to be in love forever. I've decided. And so I'm going to tell my person, if we can't be in love forever, I'm not the person for you. Well, people fall in and out of love. If you want to, if you choose that for yourself, you really can. I'm choosing to be in love the whole time. Does that mean I'm going to like everything they do? Probably not. And they're not going to like everything I do. But I'm always going to choose love. Why do you choose love, Shakima? Because God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have eternal life. God loved me first. And that love that he had for me, he infused this being with. And I have no other choice but to give it out. And that's how I live my life every single day. I used to be so discouraged not being married, but I needed all of this time to get myself together. Not just, and here's another thing, it wasn't just get myself together. I needed to raise my children. My children needed to be on their own, independent, and outside of this space. Why? Because a man won't want your kids? Well, he may not. He doesn't want me either. But there's so much pressure when you come into an already made family. God did not desire that for my husband, to feel that pressure, that negativity with an already family. My kids are great. So what he's going to experience is the abundance, the fruitfulness of a family that works well together. It will not be laborious. It will not be pressure. It won't be any of that. He will be able to step in and enjoy myself and my children. Does that make sense? Because I needed to give them me. I didn't have me to give him then. I do now. Okay. Let's get back to this resource. You guys, this is in my showcase, my TikTok shop. Go over and find it. And here's the reason why. No matter how much you desire to be married, no matter how much you desire to be married right, no matter how much you desire to be in love, you're going to have to work at it. Now, I hate that word work because it sounds laborious. It's not. I go to work every day and I never go to my job saying, gosh, I hate this job. I have tough days, but I go back every day. So marriage is just like that. Dang, we had a tough day yesterday, babe. We got to get this thing together. We got to come to the table. We got to sit down. We got to chit chat. We got to figure this thing out because I'm not having another day like we had yesterday. Every day, I got to learn how to die to myself. I got to learn how to esteem my spouse greater than myself. I have to learn how to do what he wants. I have to learn how to give and compromise. I have to say, hey, it's not important that we do my thing. Let's do what you need doing. And that doesn't mean you always give up for the other person, but it means that I'm going to so love him that he's going to have to try to outlove me. And because we try to outlove each other, we just going to be in love. People going to be like, what is going on? Like, right? Because I know that my husband and I have a specific calling to marriage. We have a specific calling to be married to each other, but we have a specific calling to teach marriage to others. Okay. So in this resource, which you can find in my TikTok shop, I want to just go over some of the topics that they talk about, because you can never not learn enough about yourself. That's the first thing. Self-discovery is a thing. When I turned 45 years old, a light bulb went off in my head and I began to understand who Shakima was. I was like, oh my God, girl, I didn't know you was in there. Okay, we see you, girl. And then you're discovering your spouse, their idiosyncrasies, the good, the bad, they snore, they stank, all that. You discovering all of that. And then you decide, do you want to be with that forever? And if the answer is no, please do us a favor and stop wasting people's time. And if the answer is yes, lock in. Lock in. That's it. That's your only job. Choose a person and lock in, and it's perfectly fine. Does that make sense? Okay, very good. So this is broken down into 5 parts. So here's the thing. What is a marriage after God? What does it look like? Because everybody has a definition of what marriage should be, look like, how much it's going to cost and all that. And my recommendation is to go straight to the word to ask God what he thinks about marriage. How is it that God wants our marriage to be? What is it for? What's the primary goal? I've already told y'all earlier that I'm about legacy. I'm really done with what I'm supposed to have done. Now I'm really sowing into the next generation. I want what I'm doing to live on in them and their kids. Do you know that you can have generational marriage? Some of us have come from generational divorce. We don't have to have that. My grandparents were married for 50 years, and loved each other. When my grandfather passed, my grandmother did not last a year after. She was with that man her whole entire life. And so I want to be able to be married. I didn't do it right the first time. That's okay. God gonna give me a divine do-over and I'm good with that. But I want my children to see a strong marriage, and I want their children to see a strong marriage, and then their children. No, we married. We ain't unmarried around here. We married. And again, if you have the gift of singleness and marriage is not your desire, then that's perfectly fine too. We have done 2 things. We have made being married the end all be all to life, and we have made being single almost like being a leper. And it's neither of those things. I am just as valuable single as I am married, but my desire is not to be single, it's to be married. Okay, so that's part 1. The second part is build a strong foundation. They talk about your relationship with the Bible. None of this is possible without the word. I can be up here. I'm a good speaker, orator, and all that. I have flowery words. They sound great. But if it is not biblically based and you have a firm foundation to stand on, the moment something comes through to shake that ground that you're standing on, you're going to fall. And I don't plan that. I've already had 1 unsuccessful marriage. The only good thing that came out of my marriage was my children. That's it. That was it. And I love them dearly. But I wish that I could have gotten it right. I don't regret being married. I love the institution. I regret that I couldn't get it right. And so my desire is to get it right. But it's further than that, because I'm not married at the moment. My desire is for you to get it right. My desire, if you're living in your house right now with your spouse and y'all are roommates, something is wrong there. And my suggestion would be for you to do an inward reflection, self-reflection, because you're trying to fix people. You can't fix nobody till you know what's wrong with you. So do a deep dive, an introspective look into who you are and figure out why we're not meshing together. And once you figure that out, unless there's something going on that you really need to get out of, right? Don't let anybody put their hands on you. That's not the Lord. But if it's just preferences, then I think we need to come together. We need to figure this out. The third part is what's in your tool belt, your equipment. It talks about your marriage being unique. It talks about all the tools and things that help your marriage to grow and bloom and blossom. I think this is me. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all can tell me in the comments. Y'all should say hi. Tell me who you are. I'm so glad that you're here with me tonight. Thank you for everybody that's hearted and shared. I appreciate that. So here's what I'm asking. Did we just get married to get married? Is that what we did? If we just got married to get, so after the wedding, we're done? No, you don't even get started until really after the honeymoon, and then whoever moving in and trying to figure that part out. And you know what I'm saying? Did we just get married for intimacy? Because at certain parts of the month, nobody get nothing. And then depending on how bad my day was, don't come over here looking at me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the point? No, I got married because this man and I have a specific job to do in the kingdom. I got married because you and that woman have a specific job to do in the kingdom. That's the point. I'm not here just for the pretty dress and the expensive food and have you paying to have people come and see you exchange your vows. Can I tell you this for the second time around? Unless he just wants a big wedding, I'm good. I don't need anybody except my children, his children, if he has any, and then those closest to us. We can all go out and eat afterwards. We don't even have to eat. I got 16 years worth of business I need to figure out. I'm good. And then to get home and not know the person, not want to dig in. I'm digging in. I'm locking in forever. So if you're my person, just know that I'm holding on for dear life, because my very life, your very life, the lives of our children and our children's children to the third and fourth generation depend on what we do now. The fourth part they talk about is dreaming together. And I love this part. Have you ever dreamt with your spouse? Have you ever sat down? Now, I'm not talking about your specific dreams, because here's what marriage is. I got my dreams. You got your dreams. Now, marriage don't work like that. These are my dreams. They are very good dreams. I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this. Very good. Well, here are my dreams. And I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this. Okay. Now we got two different dream sets here. What we need to do is come to the table and we need to make one set of dreams. It's what I can live with and what you can live with. And we put that together, and that's how we leave the table. That's what you call compromise. That's what you call dream together. Because perhaps you have something on your list I never thought about. Maybe that's not even a part of, I didn't even grow up like that. I didn't know people went on vacation. What? To another place? I had never been on vacation until I was an adult grown woman. Oh, that's a thing? Oh, okay. I didn't know. So we don't put aside our dreams. We bring them together. And she has some questions or some dream together conversation starters. And I want to share some of those with y'all because I think this is very good. You got to start having conversations, because if you don't have conversations, I'm just not exactly sure you're supposed to be together. So the dream together conversation starters talk about, first of all, their pressing issues. What has to be talked about right now? Is there a situation or opportunity or crisis that we need to talk through right now? I got children. Okay, are there any baby daddy issues? You got kids? Any baby mama issues? Anything I need to know? Any surprise children? You think you might have a few out here? Just kind of, clue us in so I can be ready. It is irresponsible. I need somebody to type this in the comments. It is irresponsible for you or me to let a surprise jump out the closet at your spouse. It's irresponsible. What happened. It happened in the past. It has nothing to do with right now, but they better be prepared in case the past shows up. Don't let the past knock on your door and they don't know anything about it. That's irresponsible. It doesn't mean that they get to lord it over and hold it over your head. I promise you that's not what I'm saying. But what I am telling you is if the past jumps up and try to slap me in my face, I'm fighting you. I'm not fighting nobody else. I'm fighting you because you should have told me. And here's the thing. Big girls and big boys, we can decide if we want to still be with you when you tell us all the things. Does that make sense? Okay, very good. Then it talks about dream for our marriage. Does our marriage demonstrate oneness? Are we unified? Does our marriage demonstrate submission? Do we listen to each other and support each other? Here's the thing. Some of us just overtalk everybody else. You never sit and listen. The Bible says be slow to speak and quick to listen. How you know that, Shakima? Because I read the word. Clock it, because I read the word. I don't always have to get the last word. Somebody else might want to turn to talk as well. Give them, extend them the same grace and courtesy that they would extend you. This is a marriage between two people. It's not a marriage just for you. That's real. Okay, then these are just things that you need to sit down. And here's the thing. I know sometimes it's not always easy to sit down and discuss stuff, but you have to do this. We're plugged in. We logged on. Log out. Tonight, Monday nights is discussion night. I actually like Sunday nights. I like Sundays for let's have our committee meetings of 2. Let's figure out the schedule for the week. If you have things going on, I got things going on, but I need to prioritize some time. I know I'm busy. I know you're busy, but I need you. I need to see you other than at night. I need to be with you other than be with you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm here for all of that, but I need to be more than that. I need to be priority in your life. Okay. For your family, what as parents do we do well and where can we do better? Do you know that parents aren't always right? Sometimes we do it wrong and we advise our children wrong. We give them a wrong example and then they're following it. And then we looking at them acting crazy, trying to figure out where they learned that at. Turn the finger around, baby. They learned that from you. Do better. 16 years is a long time to be separated and divorced, but can I promise you, I needed every day of those 16 years. Now, I was ready about 5 or 6 years ago. I'm still ready now, but I'm still learning things about myself and I'm still self-reflecting and I'm still self-learning and I'm still trying to be better, a better Shakima than I was before. Why? Because my husband deserves better. He deserves the best of everything that I can give. Have y'all ever heard Anita Baker sing that song? I'm giving you the best that I got. She meant that. I'm giving you the best that I have. But maybe it's not the best that you need. Okay, so then let's have a hard conversation. Tell me what you need. Oh, I'm not doing that correct. Very good. Let me adjust. And here's the thing. Some people, especially in today's culture, would say, well, Shakima, why do I have to do all the adjusting? Just because. Because I'm going to esteem my neighbor higher than myself. That's my husband. He's still your neighbor too. What you won't do, and I'm not saying anything that makes you go against the Lord. I'm not saying anything that goes against your morals and your values, but I'm saying some of us are just stiff-necked for the purpose of being stiff-necked. We don't want nothing to do with what they got to say. Nope. I'm doing my way. Well, you're not married to you. You're married to them. So this is and the two shall become one. So how are we becoming one on this issue if only your answer is the right answer? Okay, I'm going to move on. Ain't none of my business. Dreams for our profession. What work, either paid or unpaid, is God calling us to do? God can tell you to volunteer and donate your time, or he can say, hey, I have a business for y'all and I need y'all to punt real quick. I need you to move to this. I need you to put finances and allocate it over here. I need to be able to hear that. Here's one of the things that I know is very important. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. And if there are some men on here, can you hear my heart and don't listen to it through a filter? For me, this is Shakima, and I know none of y'all are my husband, so I'm going to move on. For me, my husband can never, listen to me, and I mean this emphatically, never question my giving. Never. Shakima, what you mean he can't question your giving? This man should be so secure in who I am in God that if I tell him we're giving a specific amount to a specific place, that he trusts the God in me. Now, everything I spend, he can look at it, question it, quote it, tell me no. He can look at my spending. Don't question my giving. Because if he questions my giving, that means he's questioning my hearing, and he does not think I hear from the Lord. The only question my husband needs to ask me when it's time to give is, baby, do you want that PayPal, Cash App, or Zelle? That's it. Because we're together in that. We are with the Lord on our giving, not the spending. That's another situation. He can look at every budget sheet. He can take my checkbook. He can have my credit card. None of that is important. But when I'm giving to the Lord, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, how you want me to do this? That's all I need. Does that make sense? Okay, very good. Because the Lord may be calling us to take those finances and put it to a business, to invest in somebody. Maybe it's not our business. Maybe he's calling us to invest in something that our children are doing. My kids want to open up a business. They're very good. We've seen their business plan. We've looked at all the things. And the Lord is saying, okay, I need y'all to sow into this. So, baby, we might have to talk about it, pray about it, fast about it, and all that. But understand that I heard the Lord. Okay. Dreams for your finances. What financial goals do we need to pursue next? How can we begin to live a debt-free lifestyle? Here's the thing. I'm debt-free. I'm 100% debt-free. I don't owe anything except this house over my head. That's it. The Lord graced me to do that for my husband. My first husband left me, and he left all the debt with me. Left the whole state. My state said, whoever here, gotta pay. So I was here and I paid it. But the Lord blessed me to get out of that, so that my for real next husband does not have to deal with any of that, baby. And he might come with some. That's fine. I'm not saying he got to be debt free, but trust me that I know how to get out of this. So let me look at all your stuff and figure out how we gonna do this. I've had many people say, Shakima, what if your husband doesn't want you to work? Okay, he may not want me to work, but if we owe somebody money, what I'm gonna do is go to my spouse and say, babe, listen, I understand that you want me to be here for you, and I want to be here for you, but will you allow me to work however many, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years? Will you allow me to work, and my income goes towards the debt? That way, when I do come home, we cannot have anything holding over our head. Now, a man with sense will be like, you know what? I didn't think of that. Yes, ma'am, you can. I don't want to work if he wants me to stay home, but if we got stuff we need to take care of, then he needs to understand, hey, she trying to, you know what I'm saying? Or he takes care of all the bills. I'm not trying to pay nothing. You want to pay the mortgage, baby, pay it. It's due on the 1st. But maybe my money would go towards vacation or investments or something else. Those are the types of things that we need to chat about. We need to talk about it. And we need to talk about it all the time. Not beat a dead horse, but we need to have conversations. You must keep dialogue open in your marriage. Secrets will kill your marriage. Last thing, and there's multiple questions under these. And again, remember, this is Marriage After God. You can find this in the TikTok shop. What are dreams for our spiritual life? Are we reading and studying the word every day? Call each other on it if you're not. I get it. Times are what they are, but I can listen to the Bible as I'm driving in my car. Are we praying for each other? There will be no greater thing that my husband can do for me than to lay his hands on me and pray. And mean it. And allow me to pray for him. I'm not going to see a devil trying to get him and I'm not praying. You done lost all your good mind. I will put this hair up in a ponytail, take these earrings out. I'm going to war for my man. You dealing with something, you battling with something. Oh, we don't battle by ourselves. We in this thing together. You fighting, I'm fighting. Well, nobody wants to be married to a masculine woman. I'm not saying that. If somebody come to the house, trust me, I'm not going to throw myself at them in front of my husband, but I'm not going to watch somebody beat my husband down and I don't do nothing because I'm the woman. What is that? Okay. I don't want to be married to no masculine woman. Okay, very good. Let somebody come beat your brains out. I got it, baby. I'm here for you. All right. And then they give talk about taking inventory of your marriage. What experiences have we had that God might want to use? Everything that I talk about and share is my life experience. Is what I've been through. I've never once named my ex-husband. Quick, in a hurry, child. Okay, clock it. Doing it, me. That's me. You know what I'm saying? I've never shared my ex-husband's name. I've always shared our story. I've never shared falsehoods. He knows everything I'm saying. We get along. We co-parent. It's all of that. But what experience do we have together? Maybe your marriage has withstood infidelity. Maybe the Lord wants to use that somewhere. Now, you got to be careful where you share your stuff and with whom, but the Lord could use your story to help somebody else that's walking through what you're walking through. So, in my opinion, and I got to go, I've been talking way too long, but see, this stuff I can talk about all day. This is my heart. This is what the Lord gave me. So you understand that the man that God gives me is going to have to be some kind of way involved in what I'm doing, because if not, I will frustrate him. That's why you need to be very, very, very. I'm suggesting this one. I'm not reading this one because I'm still going through my book, but I may come back to this, but this is just a suggestion. I have a ton of books about marriage in my library, because marriage is important to me. The Bible for sure, but sometimes people just need a different resource with different stories that they can relate to. And so I'm just suggesting this as a resource. Keep it in your don't just buy books to buy them, buy books to read them. And this is such a good resource. I think I've got several books that are amazing resources that I keep on tap. Now, I may do a closed session because I love to get to know people. When I'm in a forum like this, I don't know who's behind the thing. I see different names. I'm trying to put names to faces, and I don't have that. So for me, I like to do a closed group. That way I can see everybody. We can talk. We can put stuff out there. I'm a safe place. I try to be that. I try to provide that for people. If I haven't been that, you can tell me, but I do. So that's my suggestion. So it's called Marriage After God. It's Aaron and Jennifer Smith. They have another book that I have. I'll do a live on that one, and then the one I did from earlier. So if you missed my live from earlier, you can go and check that one out, because it was a good one too. It goes in with that legacy. So this is in my TikTok shop. Just check it out. Maybe it's something you're interested in. And if it's not, that's fine. But I'm always looking for stuff that's going to make me better. When my true husband finds me, he is going to ask himself, why didn't I find you sooner? Because I'm working on me over here. I'm working on Shakima. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Do I want to be perfect? Absolutely do. But I know the truth. But I am going to be the perfect match for that man. And you can be the perfect match as well. I refuse to live as a roommate. I'm going to be in love forever. I'm on my forever honeymoon. We still honeymooning. Y'all newlyweds forever. Been married 50 years, newlyweds. Yep, I'm newlywed. And that's my heart. I didn't have that the first time. I plan to have it this last time. So anywho, y'all, I got to go. It's time for all of God's children to be in bed. That would include me. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for stopping by and joining me. Thank you for all the hearts, all the likes, all the shares, all the comments. I appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. And I will be back. Don't know if it will be. I might do tomorrow. Don't hold me to that, but to share just a couple more resources with you guys. But anywho, love y'all. Stay blessed, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye now. Bye, everybody. Thank y'all for joining me. Bye, y'all. See everybody later.